thank you, David. We were in dire need of those supplies. I supervised her well, didn't I? Of course, dear. He did not do anything. Princess, you wound me. No. Okay. David, you need to understand how management works. You delegate. See? Once you delegate, you never have to do any work. I mean, you're working by delegating. Benefits of being a manager. It's the truth. But we had that nice talk. You avoided half my questions. Karma lets out an exasperated sigh that becomes a very forced yawn. I'm going to bed. Today has been a tiring day. Please excuse me, darling. Sleep well. Sleep well, Karma. Karma walks away, leaving me alone with Parfait. No, fuck off. I don't want to talk to you. No, fuck off! He's not so bad, you know. I do not know why I agreed to work with him. Give him a chance, David. I did not get a single good deed today. It's not just about the act, but about the intentions. Did Karma just use me then? I am tired. I'm going to go to bed. Tonight I will rethink my partnership. I mean, Karma probably didn't know. She just wanted to do someone else's lackey work. Someone else to do the lackey work, and if it resulted in a good deed, then whoop-de-fucking do. I barely slept that night. When I wake up the next day, my body is sore from carrying supplies around town yesterday. The more I think about Karma, the more my anger boils inside of me. How could I not have gotten a good deed yesterday? Because it's about the intentions. Like, you can't go into something saying, I'm doing this because it's a good deed. You have to do it because you're good, not because you want to get back to being a bitch. I decided to find him first thing in the morning. I see him at his usual table, once again staring out the window. A dark aura seems to surround him, and I notice that no one is sitting with him today. Karma. He keeps staring outside, and his eyes are glassy. What do eyes being glassy mean? They don't move? Karma. Oh, Princess, good morning. It is far from a good morning. I did not sleep at all last night. What a shame. His voice is surprisingly cold, his tone rather dismissive. I was too busy thinking about yesterday. You told me that helping you would maybe help me complete a good deed. I pointed my necklace, which hasn't changed at all since I received it. Do you see? Not another piece. You get pieces added to your glass slipper. That's charming. I was thinking that pairing up with you was a bad idea. Princess, did you just say that you were paired up with me? I did, you must have known. Oh my, I assumed that you just wanted to help me. I didn't know you were pairing up with anyone. That's right, I never told him directly I wanted to partner up. Should I have? Yes! It's always better to be direct so there's no room left for doubt. Well, it does not matter what I say anymore, because I do not think you can help me. Princess, I can't help you do a good deed. You have to do them on your own. I can present you with opportunities, though. Opportunities? We start first by thawing the ice around your heart. So even Karma is calling me the Ice Princess. You are a heartless bitch. Look, I mean, I don't think there's anything to thaw, because that's just a heart to begin with. Not a heart to begin with, sorry. At least I speak my mind and don't pretend to be someone I am not. I do not promise things I cannot deliver either. Princess, I do believe you misinterpreted my words yesterday. That is not my fault. Well, it depends what words were misinterpreted. Patience is a virtue. Now, if you could, I would like some time alone. I did not sleep well yesterday. Didn't sleep well? Oh dear, that makes all three of us. Waltz? Oh, for fuck's sake. I turn around and see Rumple appear at the front door. He strides toward the table with a confident grin on his face and then takes another seat. Karma lets out a sigh. Foul man, what are you doing here? You flirt with a man once and he hates you, is that it? No, you flirt with a man and then you insult him unnecessarily. Oh, I thought it was all in good fun. No. Banter has to work both ways. If banter doesn't work two ways, that's called bullying. Something about the expression on Rumple's face tells me that is not true at all. Are they always going to be at each other's throats now? Possibly yes. I don't mind making Rumple an enemy of mine, sod him. What are you doing here, Rumple? I couldn't help but overhear that you were looking for a partner, Princess. Fuck off. I thought I might offer my assistance, since I know that I can make you far happier than this fool over here. Would you like me to hit you again? What is the problem, sir? I only came to provide assistance where you could not. No. I want to know how to do a good deed. Not how to do a good deed to a woman, if you know what I mean. ... Ladies. Ladies. I don't think that will count, weirdly. Rumple turns to me, grabs my hand, and winks at me. What do you say, princess? We could be wonderful partners, and in no time at all, I swear I would have your heart aflutter. Before I can slap his hand away, Karma slaps him instead. I cannot help the surprise on my face. Would you like another slap? I am in no mood for pleasantries today. I don't know how I ever mistook you for a lady. You're the most brutish man here. Okay, I don't know how to tell you this, but you should really stop stereotyping genders like that. It's quite annoying. Rumple, you're being a dick. A slap for each cheek, darling. Would you like a third? Rumple stands abruptly from the table and glares at Karma. That's the point. I've got sound effects turned off because I hate when I go through menus and it just goes every time you go up and down. It sounds like a kid playing a xylophone, so there was probably a slap we missed. Rumple stands abruptly from the table and glares at Karma. I can almost see electricity bouncing between the two of them as they stare over my head at each other. I see Jurian walking towards us with a stern look on her face. I would never hurt a person unnecessarily. I don't resort to violence. My, that gives me all the openings I need. Slap Rumple. I lean forward to slap Rumple from his blind spot. Both of the men turn to stare at me. I look at the red spot I left on Rumple's cheek and wince. I don't think I've ever slapped a person for anyone else before. My chest feels slightly heavy. Princess? You are being ridiculous. I've told you many times that I do not appreciate your flirting, and Karma doesn't either. Such a persistent man needs to be slapped a few times. No, they called it pest, is what they called at that point. We have a register to keep you people far away from people like Karma. Rumple puts a hand to his cheek and stares at me distraught. You deserved that. Alright, what's happening over here? Jurian comes to stand in front of us, her expression stern. We should probably stop now. She could definitely 3v1 us. Nothing, I was just showing myself out. Excuse me. Rumple leaves and I am alone with Karma. He slumps back down into his chair. After making sure that he won't do anything rash again, Jurian leaves us. I leave Karma sitting there by himself and return to the front of the tavern, where Anise has more chores waiting for me. We could just decide to throw Rumple out. Would anyone really miss him? Like, probably not. It'll be fine. Today I have to work as a server, which is still better than working with Mr. Broom. The usual people are at the tavern and I overhear conversations as I work. At one point, Garland walks over to the bar and Anise serves him a drink. He looks sullen and I watch him curiously for a few moments. Then I notice he's staring at Jurian, who's talking sternly to two drunken men continuously clacking their bottles together at a table. If you make too much of a scene here, you're going to bother the other customers. The same people are here all the time, eh? We're not bothering anyone, hon. Garland looks so agitated. What's wrong with him? I will not stand to have you call me that again. Loosen up, woman. You may have been a knight of the palace before, but you got no such title now. I mean, they are aware that genuinely insulting people who work at the establishment that you happen to be accommodated by is a good way to get yourself thrown out. Garland stands up and I can see silent anger in his eyes. A few people at the bar look up at him with worry. I may have no title, but I still demand respect. Sir Garland, are you okay? He looks back at us almost like he's coming out of a trance. I'm fine, sorry about that, ladies. He sits back down, glancing once more at Jurian as she continues speaking to the men. Oh, is this where Jurian is in love with Garland all this time? And they don't know, or something? They glance at Garland warily, their expressions more somber. Why is he acting that way? Garland's usually more composed. Princess, is something on your mind? No. I brush all thoughts of what just transpired from my mind as I return to my work. You didn't even tell Anise thank you for the salve. He's healing you for free and you're being a dick. Hours go by and my body protests to all the leaning I have to do. Even though I had to carry a lot around town yesterday, it was nice to be out for a while. Maybe I am better off just helping him to avoid all the chores here and here. Again, that's not a brilliant good deed to do. You are not going to get a good deed because something is better than doing something else. At least that stops me from being worked to the bone. Oh, Princess, you're doing very well today. Oh, I always perform like this. But today you're delivering everything really quickly. Do you mean to say that I don't perform well on other days? Yes, that exactly. No, Princess, I only mean to say that today your performance is even better than normal. Is that supposed to be a compliment? Yes. Say thank you. I walk away from her niece, who stares after me sadly. If she wanted to give me a compliment, she could have said something that wasn't so backhanded. I mean, I don't think she's trying to be catty. I think she's trying to be nice. As the tavern clears for the day, I finally have time to sit down and relax. As I'm sitting there, Waltz pulls up a chair and sits in front of me. Hello, Princess. I heard from my niece that you were excellent at your job today. Congratulations on improving. Princess? So you're mocking me now too? Princess, I think you're taking things too seriously. The intention of a compliment is to, well, compliment someone. We're not making fun of you. You are implying that I'm not normally as good as this. We never said you weren't good at this, only that you were better today. Like, okay. For a beginner, a 4-meter long jump is good. For a professional, it's shit. However, as you get better, like, you can get better. You can then jump 5 meters and then go, wow, you're really getting better. Your 4-meter jump from before was good, but your 5 is better. Do you understand what I mean? This doesn't quite work in this scenario, because the princess's performance up until now in work was shit. But details. Let me give you an example. I put on puppet shows for kids. Sometimes the children come to me and say the show is even better than usual. So the children are telling you your shows are normally satisfactory. Not at all. The children always smile, regardless of whether they really like the show. So long as you're trying your best, that's all that matters. The people in the bar are always smiling when you deliver food to them, aren't they? No one likes me here. Maybe if you smiled, they would smile back. I'm not going to smile for any of them. I do not owe them anything. You do not need to owe anyone a smile. It's about brightening up a day. If they smiled to you, Princess, you'd feel a lot better, wouldn't you? Any smile that isn't owed is fake. Princess, I am leaving, Waltz. I want some time to myself. I walk upstairs to my bedroom, pointedly ignoring the look of sadness on Waltz's face. I fear how long this game is going to be if we're, 7 parts in and Davette is still a bitch. I have been sleeplessly laying on my bed for hours. Sometimes I hear the sounds of people walking through the hallway. Who would be up at this time of night? I need to leave and get some fresh air. Maybe you can go out and help. Hopefully not in your pyjamas. It is eerily quiet at night. I stop when I hear faint sounds coming from outside. What is that? Hell fucking yeah, I'm going outside. I just don't want to die. Well, I did say I needed some fresh air. No point in backing out now. I walk to the front door. Princess? I turn and see Delora looking at me with amusement flickering in her eyes. Princess, what are you doing? Getting some fresh air. It's dangerous out at night, you know. You can't just keep me inside like some caged bird. I didn't say you had to stay inside. I said it was dangerous. You might need to get your ears checked. Yeah, you can go outside and you will go outside. She didn't say you couldn't. Then there won't be any problem with me going out right now. Princess, you only hear what you want to hear. You can't go outside without an escort. I'm not going to go far. Before Delora can stop me, I walk out the front door and head in the direction of the sounds. You must be the most disobedient princess I've ever met. And you must be the most annoying witch. Delora lets out an indignified snort as she catches up to me. Fine then, we'll go on this little night stroll together. In before we get attacked. Delora and I eventually find ourselves in the forest. Ah, those classic coloured in a weird colour over a very light day. You can tell because there's still shadows here. Those sounds, it sounds like metal against metal. Wow! Rock is being played. Huh! Because metal sometimes means rock and... yeah, you get it. Yeah, you see what I mean again? It's like, you know, shadows here, but we're in the dark of the fucking night, like... Whatever. I guess with you being partnered with Karma, you would find out eventually. Excuse me? I get the answer to my question when we walk through the trees and come into a clearing. I finally see where the sounds are coming from. Two men stand in the clearing, swords clashing. One of the men is Garland, who is poised with his sword. It takes me a moment to realise that the other is Karma, who isn't in a dress. I mean, at a guess, he's probably teaching Garland how to sword fight. So it was he who was with Waltz that night. Neither he or Garland noticed us at first. Princess, you're staring. Of course I am. What is all of this? A practice session. Karma is a very talented swordsman, and he practices at night with either Jurian or Garland, depending on who's not on patrol. Karma can use a sword that well? The king only told me that only knights could have such skill. Just who is Karma? Oh, if it isn't the princess. His voice is nothing like the feminine voice I always hear from him. Karma actually sounds like a man. I notice him looking at me in between his strikes like a little smile. With a little smile, even. How does he remain so composed and steady with the distraction? Because he's very talented. You'll find the better you get at something, you don't need to focus on it all the time. That's probably a joke about masturbation in there somewhere. Princess! Karma quickly finds an opening, and Garland's hesitant stance, and then pins him to the ground with his sword, still smiling. To be distracted is to die, Garland. I know. The ability to see distractions, then put them in the back of your mind, is one every knight should hone. You must know everything that is happening around you, but only deal with the pertinent things. Yes, sir. Karma straightens, sword in hand. Moments later, Garland stumbles to his feet and gives an obedient bow. Ah, classic. The use of the term moments again. One that apparently can mean seconds, but I still disagree with. You could just say seconds and it's exactly the same. Karma nods at him before sheathing his sword. I hope they're not actually playing with real stabby, slicey swords, because I feel there are going to be a lot of, like, scars, if there are. Seems particularly dangerous, because they definitely said it was metal against metal. A slow melancholy begins to creep into my heart. For some reason, seeing this sword practice makes me nostalgic, though I am not sure why. What are you practicing for? To protect, princess. Knowing the sword is the same as knowing the shield. It's a mean to protect. To protect? I think I remember having this conversation with them before. Can never figure out how to counter an opponent when they're a mere inches from my face. Oh, Fritz was the other blonde dude in that choice when I had to pick a route. God, he was so memorable! Oh wait, no it wasn't, because he was the locked one. Okay, I have no idea then. My commander called that one the enemy's kiss, a standoff where your eyes lock onto your opponents because of proximity. The best way to counter that is to fake the sword in the opposite direction. It throws your opponent off because they're not looking. Well, that makes sense, but the enemy's kiss, what a name. It seems so dramatic for a sword move, doesn't it? Are you new to sword fighting? I mean, yeah, it does. Swordplay is dramatic though, isn't it? Isn't it most effective swordplay not meant to be flashy? Princess, I didn't notice you there. Good morning, Princess. The most effective swordplay cannot be predicted. The commander says it needs to be robust and quick. Sometimes swordplay can look like dancing though, which is why some think that the professionals are flashy. That seems unnecessary. Everyone has their own methods, their own skills. All of us knights fight for different reasons as well. I don't know, I'd always find myself, like, trying to be the really quick one. I don't think I'd ever be slow. Be slow as soon as you find someone quick, they're just going to batter you. However, someone quick against someone slow, you can outdo that, you know? You can duke and you can... Problem then is when you face someone all-rounded. Details, details! God, the music here is loud, my lord. They haven't quite got the sound balancing right in this game, I will say that much. There are some places in which the music is, like, a lot louder than it's supposed to be. I'll see what that's like in post-recording and see how much of it is even hearable. Audible? Whatever. Isn't their job to protect us from the palace? Well, yes, but we protect everyone in the castle for different reasons, Princess. The knight protects us for different reasons. I turn to Karma. But Karma, you are not a knight. No, I am most definitely not, but since Garland and Jurian begged me to teach them, I somehow become their mentor. There is no way Garland and Jurian would do that. Have you ever thought, David, that maybe the knights aren't the most effective swordspeople in the palace? They're good, don't get me wrong, but they're not the best. Because other people are allowed to train more. You know, they train more because they don't have a whole fucking castle to protect. After all, the both of them were the best knights in Angiel before they were stripped of their titles. Karma actually speaks the truth. Jurian and I really did have to get down on our knees and beg for him to instruct us. What? Is Karma really so talented? So, you are finally impressed with me. What do you think, Princess? Am I the picture of elegance in this outfit, aren't I? You know, I don't get why you and Rumple fight so often. You really are very similar. Don't compare me to that fool. He has no class. Just because you come from different backgrounds does not mean he has less class. No, it's not a money thing. It's his way of going about it. So the reason you were so tired today is because you do all these practices at night. Oh, I suppose I've been caught red-handed. Why does this have to be a secret? Does it have to do with Karma's curse? But he is not in his disguise now. We could have been working on breaking our curses today, but no, you decided that staying up late into the night and practicing was more important. This was probably why you were grumpy this morning. Well, our protection is vital, don't you think? Garland, you were at the palace. How is it that Karma possesses more skill with the sword than you? Princess! Karma is special, Princess. He's more talented with the sword than a lot of other people. And I do pride myself on being a splendid instructor. Well, I mean, yes, but you did bash him to the floor just, like, a few seconds ago. I use seconds as opposed to moments, like I should have. But never fear, Princess, I will help you dispel your curse. After all, you did suggest that we were still partners. Can he really help me with the curse? But how will he do that? By just presenting opportunities? We'll try again tomorrow, darling, but for now, Garland and I have some more work to do. Also, please don't call me darling, my god. This time, Garland, do not lose focus. Yes, sir. The sound of swords carries through the night air, and for a long while I stand with Delora watching the two men fight. Can they not just do it just outside the inn, like 100 meters away? Does it have to be in a forest by themselves? Karma chides Garland often, telling him that his concentration is waning. Karma is a good swordsman, perhaps even better than the palace knights. His nimble swordplay repeats again and again in my head, even when I have returned to the tavern for the night. Oh, God. Alright, well, Mother's about to tell us something really freaky again, and yet again, we don't have eyes.